Looking ahead to the second T20I between India and Bangladesh at Rajkot, the hosts under a bit of pressure staring upon a series defeat. The visitors, on the other hand, have a spring in their stride after beating India in Delhi, and they're eyeing an even greater chunk of history now. If they can inflict a series defeat on India at home, that'll do something for their cricket, which has been in the news for all the wrong reasons in recent times. Looking ahead to that game on ESPNcricinfo Matchday. Right, let's start with India then. And one question that continues to plague them is how do they approach their innings, especially when they're batting first? We've seen the difference with India when they know the target that they have to chase in a T20I game. But when they have to set, their gears come into question, the openers come into question. And Shikhar Dhawan doesn't boast of the finest record in the shortest format in recent times. We're looking at the least strike rate for an opener in 2019. And with the criteria for minimum 100 balls, Shikhar Dhawan's right up there ahead of the Sri Lankan pair of Kushal Mendis and Danushka Gunatilaka. Rohit Sharma's there as well, and that's the other problem, that you have a player like Rohit who you know has got a far more prolific record and a more impactful record in T20 cricket, but you can't afford to have both openers perhaps going at strike rates of 110, 120 there and thereabouts. So that's a question. Will Shikhar Dhawan have a different approach? Will he change his gear? Will India look to change things? That looks unlikely, but India certainly need more out of Shikhar Dhawan, the T20I opening batsman. And Rohit Sharma certainly needs more from his partner as he looks to become the first Indian player to 100 T20I international appearances. Here he is now speaking ahead of this game. Perhaps a little bit of pressure for the Indian captain as a series defeat is on the line. Here's what he had to say about India's chances of bouncing back.
Pressure is just on the team, to perform. As simple as that. No particular department, I would say. Because you have lost as a team. You have not lost as a bowler, as a bowling unit. You have lost as a team, so the focus will be on the team to perform. So collectively, all of us need to come together. The batters need to get the job done, and the bowlers need to come out and get those crucial wickets and defend the score. Or if we are if we are bowling first, restrict them to a good score, which we can chase it later on.
All the talk from Rohit Sharma and the Indian think tank was about the youngsters and the opportunities that they'd be given ahead of this series, but it was Bangladesh's youngsters, as it turned out, that stole the headlines after the first T20I in Delhi. Naturally, therefore, Mahmudullah had only words of praise for the likes of Naeem, Afif and Aminul.
I think from the start, we have talked about our approach that has to be on top. Whatever, if we lose or win, it doesn't matter, but our approach, our attitude has to be in a correct way, in a correct manner, so that we can give ourselves a chance to win the game. And the names that you have mentioned, Afif, Naeem and Biplab, they are very good youngsters, and they have proved that they have that capability to do well in the side. So they deserve their places, and hopefully they will going to continue the same way that they have started.
Now let's get into matchups and perhaps tactics that Rohit Sharma and India could employ that would trouble Bangladesh's batting, which looked in relative ease as long as Mushfiqur Rahim was at the crease in that first T20I. But leg spin tends to be an Achilles heel for Bangladesh's batsmen. Now, the Mushfiqur Rahim himself has been dismissed no less than 7 times against leg spin in T20I since 2014. The same for Mahmudullah. So the top two batsmen, along with Soumya Sarkar, have had a number of dismissals to leg spin, and the average not great either. So that's one potential line of attack for Rohit Sharma against Bangladesh's batsman. Yuzvendra Chahal did trouble Mushfiqur. He could have had him with a little bit of luck much earlier in the innings in Delhi. And perhaps even food for thought if Rohit Sharma wants to be a bit bold and perhaps play more than one leg spinner. They have the services of Rahul Chahar in the squad. And speaking of the likely playing 11s, you wouldn't think that India would feature 2 leg spinners in it. But there are certain questions that are revolving around the team management. And one of those is whether KL Rahul's poor form in other formats is carried over to this one format where he's otherwise been prolific in. And therefore, would it merit a case for Sanju Samson to play ahead of Rahul? Samson has played at number 3 for a large part of his IPL career. So would be a position that he would enjoy playing in. That's one question India will have to answer. And also whether Shardul Thakur could be used as a potential seam bowling option ahead of Khalil Ahmed, who had a forgettable evening in Delhi in the first T20I. Bangladesh, on the other hand, wouldn't want to change a winning combination, but they have similar options if they want to use them. The likes of Arafat Sunny could come in if they want to play the extra spinner instead of the seamer, but Mohammad Naeem was excellent at the top of the order, with Soumya Sarkar slotting in at 3. Seems unlikely, as from what we're hearing from the Bangladesh camp, that there would be any changes to the playing 11. As far as the players to watch out for go, Aminul Islam, one of the youngsters that Mehmudullah was praising earlier on, had a significant impact in the first T20I. Delhi got rid of KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas Iyer was looking very good at the time, so it was leg spin that was used effectively by Mehmudullah in the first game. India will have to watch out for Aminul Islam and the threat he poses, bowling his 4 overs of leg spin. And speaking of Shreyas Iyer, who I think was one of the standout batsmen in that brief period that he played in the first T20I, took on the bowlers right away, played some terrific shots. Had he not been dismissed at that point, India were looking at a completely different course for their innings. In the 3 T20Is that he has played, the 3 innings that he has played in T20Is in 2019, averages a little over 21, but if he shows the same intent that he did in Delhi and bats a bit longer than he did in Delhi, you can be rest assured Shreyas Iyer will be a batsman to watch out for. Should be a cracker of a contest. I'll review all the key talking points and key numbers from this game on ESPNcricinfo Match Day.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the bell icon for notifications.